Hey friends, welcome back. This week we're continuing the conversation about your paycheck. Last time, not last week, but the week before, I did a video on just understanding the basic components of your paycheck. I'll drop a link to that. Oh, my dog doesn't even like that topic. She gags when I talk about paychecks. But what I'm going to do is I'll drop a link to that video in the description, and anything else I bring up, I'll drop into the description so you can follow up. But this week, what I'm going to do is just talk about tips on where your money might be leaking out of your paycheck. There are areas of our paycheck that we just set and forget, and we forget to come back and look at it. And you don't even know maybe that there's decisions you can make throughout the year that can move the levers on how much money gets taken out of your paycheck. So my husband and I, at least once a year after we sign up for our health benefits, we revisit our paycheck, make sure everything looks like what we expected, so we can catch things early. This last year, when I shifted out of corporate America, we changed our health insurance coverage to his company, and we missed something. We thought that we were signed up appropriately for something with our healthcare, and we forgot to hit a checkbox. So we didn't get as much of the benefit as we could have. This year we fixed it, so we're back on track. But that's the value of checking your paycheck. It's like, hey, you don't know what you don't know if you don't look. So as I've shared, my journey started with my paycheck because that's where my money came from. So I said, let me make sure I understand what's happening between when I get paid and when it hits my bank account. What are all these categories and line items? Do I understand them? If not, I'm going to ask some questions. And you have the right to ask those questions too. If there's acronyms or abbreviations that don't make sense, find out what they are. Make sure that you understand and are in agreement with what those are. Because that's your right. It's your money. Take control of your finances. This is the first step of it, is knowing where your money's going, starting with your paycheck. So today we're going to talk about 3 things where your money could be leaking unexpectedly. 1 is with your retirement, 2 is with your healthcare, 3 is with your taxes. Let's start with retirement. You can contribute to retirement before tax or after tax. If you contribute to your retirement before tax, it means you're not paying taxes now. You're contributing before taxes are calculated. Means a higher paycheck now because you're not paying taxes right now. What it means on the flip side is fast forward to retirement, you will pay taxes then on everything, the money you put in and how much interest it earns. On the flip side, if you contribute to retirement after tax, it's going to be called Roth, R-O-T-H. That just stands for the guy who came up with it, the senator who came up with it. It's all, nothing hidden there. But Roth is the name for an after-tax retirement. That means you are paying taxes first, then your money's going into retirement. So that means a lower paycheck now because you're paying taxes now. What it means on the flip side, come time for retirement, is you're not paying taxes down the road. So you have to know what your strategy is. That's what the investment advisors do. They talk to you about that plan, but you should know that you have options. And when you're focusing on getting out of debt, when you have near-term goals, those are some decisions you can make. Do I need a little bit more back in my paycheck right now? Meaning I might need to do a little pre-tax contributions for now. Maybe if I'm doing extra above the company match, maybe I bring it down to the company match. That decision on what you do with your retirement is entirely up to you in your paycheck. So you get to make that decision. That's for you to make. And you can change it throughout the year. Every pay period, you can change it. And usually it takes effect by the next pay period, or at most the next one after that. So it's a pretty real-time change. So that covers retirement. 2, healthcare. A lot of times, I've worked in the healthcare industry. I've worked in all different industries in finance. I've had a lot of conversations during my time in corporate America. Open enrollment comes every year. It's a rush. You're doing your regular job. You're doing life. Open enrollments here, you usually get like a 2-week window to figure out what you're doing. And it's so easy to either let the same selections roll over or just choose the same things again as last year. But know this, there's 2 extremes of the scale when it comes to healthcare. You can pay more. You can see a similar theme here. You can pay more for your healthcare, more monthly expense for your healthcare coverage. And that means the insurance company covers more and more. Higher cost to you, higher coverage from insurance because they're giving you more for your money. The flip side of that spectrum is you pay less for your healthcare expense and the insurance company pays less upfront. You're taking more of that risk and responsibility on your own, so you're not paying as much for that expense. Again, these are decisions you can make. You usually cannot make healthcare changes to your healthcare elections unless there's what's called a qualifying event. It could be a marriage, a death, a significant life event where your company allows you to make those changes. Otherwise, you have to wait till next time around. But don't wait until that 2-week crunch to start making some decisions and thinking about this. Grab your insurance booklet of all your medical coverage, healthcare coverage. Start looking at it. It's so easy. So many times I've had conversations with people who just choose the same thing every year because it's easy. It's easy to just go to a doctor and have them cover it. But here's the thing. You might need that. You might need that extra robust coverage. If you're a younger person who's healthier and you're just literally showing up to the doctor for those preventative care appointments that insurance covers for everybody, that might be a sign. Like, make sure that your healthcare coverage matches your lifestyle. None of us can predict the future. I wish we could. I can't tell that for myself. You can't tell it for yourself. I can't tell you what your future holds from a medical perspective. All you're able to do is make an educated guess, and based on your needs, your risk comfort with how much risk you're willing to take on yourself, things like that, you can change that coverage. And then on a related note, when you're paying more for that monthly expense, that's a high deductible plan. That's what that's called, when you're paying when you're paying a lower monthly expense, but you're taking on a bigger responsibility. You also have the ability to invest in what's called a health savings account. It's a privilege only for high deductible members. And if you have questions about this, ask your HR department, your benefits area. They will answer questions for you. But you can put money aside for savings so that because you're carrying that risk, you're able to bank a little bit more savings over the long term. One philosophy is you can save the difference, invest the rest. The thing with a high monthly expense is it's use it or lose it. If you're in a low monthly expense, but you're putting money aside in healthcare savings, you're saving that money. It stays yours. So there's pros and cons to everything. But again, you're getting information that's giving you the ability to make decisions for yourself. These are all things that you choose and that you sign off for on your paycheck. So you have options every single year to make changes. And then lastly, your taxes. This one, it's harder to gauge, but if you're regularly getting a big chunk of money, a good sized bonus from the government every year, that's not a bonus. You're just getting money back that you worked hard for, that you lent essentially to the government for free, 0% interest. I'd love a 0% interest loan, if you will, if that was what I was looking to do. But don't give the government your money. Use it to take control of your finances. Put that money back in your paycheck. Pay off your debt, which is I guarantee you probably not at 0% for a majority of us. It's probably a portion of it is 0% for a period of time, but it always goes up to like double digits. So if you're carrying credit card debt and you're getting a bonus back from the government, think about changing that amount and putting some of that back in your pocket now. Pay that debt off now, not at the end. Don't sit on it for a year. It's a little trickier to change. I'll put a link in the description on how to understand that W-4 form a little better. They don't make it easy. It's hard to tell exactly what your tax will be because, sometimes that oftentimes can vary just a little bit, so you won't ever get it exact. But there are ways to make adjustments throughout the year to pull some of that money back into your own paycheck, into your own bank account, so that you're not just without the money that you're working real hard for every single week, day in and day out, and put that money to work for you. So that's it. Retirement, healthcare, taxes. They're not the only three, but they're three major ones that are easy to overlook. You can also accidentally be giving extra just dollar amounts in your taxes. In that form, you can say, do I want the government to take out a little extra? And you put a specific dollar amount. That's what we found out was happening just because something got carried over in my husband's paycheck. that he elected one year because he was paying a lot of taxes, and he's like, yeah, I'll just pay another extra 25 every month, kind of ballpark it. Never took that off. So there was actually every week. So it was like $100 a month when I'm like, hey, what's that for? Because I was looking at our paycheck. We're like, oh, we don't need that. We took that off. So you never know what you might find. Nobody's immune to mistakes. Nobody's immune to oversights. So that's all I'm saying is open up your paycheck, make sure you understand it, and pull those levers if you need to. If it's with your retirement and taxes, you absolutely can talk to your tax professional. Get on the line, get on Google some of this, research some of these topics. You can nerd out on it. We are in the information age. You can reach out to me directly if you have more specific questions. I'm not an advisor, but I can share with you my experience, and I can put you in the right direction to somebody, a professional, if you need help. Leah, Leah, at moneywisemom.com. You can jump on my website, reach out to me there too. moneywisemom.com, of course. And I hope you check out those videos in the description. Nerd out with me a little bit. I want to see you win with money, and we're in this together. It is not always easy, but it is always worth it. So until next time, get out there and slay your finances. All right. See you next time.